Cavin Elizabeth, a wedding photographer based in San Diego, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about a couple of honeymoon tips to keep in mind before you actually do any booking. So I know the honeymoon is a really exciting thing to go on. For me, I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to be going to Bora Bora, so I'm really excited about that. And it was really fun sort of planning out the entire thing. But one thing that I would really say to keep in mind is really make sure that you have an overall budget set before you start doing any planning. So figure out what you are comfortable spending. You don't have to max that out, just whatever you're comfortable with. That's a great starting place. And then start looking into destinations, but do make sure that you do not spend too great of a percentage of your overall budget on the flight. Because if you do that, then you might not have as much left over for hotels or activities as you would like. You don't want to get somewhere and then not be able to do anything, unless that's your goal, just not doing anything at all and sitting on the beach. But if you're wanting to do some activities, make sure that you're not spending way too much on your flights so that you do have enough left over to actually do fun things when you get there. A lot of people ask if you need to go right after the wedding, and the answer is no, not unless you want to. For us, we are going a couple of days after the wedding because that is a really great time to go to Bora Bora. It's in the shoulder season, so there aren't as many tourists. Prices are a little bit lower. When we originally thought we might also have our wedding in October, Bora Bora was a lot more expensive then, and we kind of wanted to be able to go right after, so we decided to do April, which was the month that I wanted for weddings anyway. It was just further away. Now, sometimes when you're getting married, might not line up with a good season for where you want to go. So if you're wanting to go to Paris for your honeymoon, but you're getting married in November and you don't want to be freezing, then you can definitely wait. Like, take some time off that next summer. Go when it's a really good time. So whether that be for weather or for cost or amount of people or even events going on, maybe a city has something like the Tour de France and you want to be able to see it. So you should definitely go on your honeymoon when you can see it. If you are thinking of visiting certain landmarks, do make sure that they're open. I know when we made our trip to Europe a couple years ago, we went to London and we went to a bunch of different places in France. Highclere Castle from Downton Abbey was not open on the days we were going to be in the UK, and I was really upset about that. So if I ever go back, I'm going to time it so that that place is open when I am there, because I will see it before I die. So make sure that you guys are planning out things based on when is best to go for you. If you kind of want to go somewhere after your wedding but take a bigger honeymoon later, I've had a lot of couples do Minimoons. So they'll go somewhere somewhat close by. So if they're in San Diego, they might go to Cabo in Mexico for just maybe 3 or 4 nights. So it's kind of a mini honeymoon. And then they'll take a larger, 1 week to 2 week vacation a couple months away when it's better time to go. Or maybe they just don't want to do anything at all after the wedding because they want to relax or spend time. If there's a lot of out-of-town guests, they'll push it. So you can go whenever you want. You can go a year later. You can go 2 years later. Don't wait too long just because you want to make sure it actually happens. But it's definitely one of those things where you can push it, and that's not a bad thing at all. Now, when it comes to the planning, make sure that you guys discuss who is going to be doing what. I will say that I do not like to take on 100% of the planning. I don't think that's fair. It ends up being too much. I have a business to run. I have the wedding to plan. I don't want to be doing 100% of the honeymoon. So my fiance and I split up different things. I am actually doing a little bit more wedding planning, and he took on the bulk of the honeymoon planning. He went through the Costco travel agency, which is apparently really great. They had the exact hotel that we wanted. Everything that we wanted to do, they had it there, and it was really fantastic. So he handled all of that, and then I handled kind of choosing the initial hotels, which was really great balance for us. And then I've done a little bit more on the wedding side. So make sure between the wedding and the honeymoon that you guys are making sure that it feels fair to both of you. Also, make sure that you're both giving input for the kinds of activities you'll be doing. If you are really into history and museums and arts, but your fiance isn't, and all you plan are events or excursions around those things, your fiance might not be super happy about that, or they might get there and not really be having a great time. So you do need to have input. Maybe you like something they don't, or vice versa, but maybe you guys can compromise. Maybe you do one thing you don't like, they do one thing they don't like, and then you're both kind of of happy and unhappy in different places, but hopefully you're all really happy on your honeymoon anyway. But just make sure it's balanced and fair, and you guys are both going to get a lot of enjoyment out of the planning process and out of the experience itself. One thing that I am absolutely going to be doing, if I can find somebody whose style I love, is booking a honeymoon photo session. Now, I don't really want these to be posed portraits. We'll have enough of those from the engagement wedding. I want to book a really fun lifestyle, very candid photojournalistic type shoot of us doing really cool activities, whether it be kind of paddleboarding together or kayaking or just walking up and down the beach, sipping cocktails. I don't really care. I just want some really fun photos of us doing activities, everything super candid, out in Bora Bora at our resort. So if you guys love the idea of having portraits in a different part of the world, something totally different that you'll maybe never do again, then definitely try to hire a photographer. Now, there are some resources online, and I'm not going to name names, but they will kind of help you find local photographers on your honeymoon. Make sure you look at their portfolios. I personally did not like those options when I was searching for Bora Bora specifically. It is a smaller place, so it is harder to find great talent there that meets my style that I'm looking for. But I will say it's also worth just kind of going on Instagram, seeing who's tagged photos in the honeymoon location you're going to, and seeing if those people are available. You could also do a Google search for Paris wedding photographer. You can also actually fly your wedding photographer to your honeymoon destination. That is absolutely an option, and then you already have somebody you trust and love the style of. So if you're willing to splurge on paying for their travel and their photo session, that's a really great thing that you can do. You know you're going to love their work, and to me that might be worth the cost depending on how far they're traveling. So those are just my tips for honeymoon planning. I hope that those are super helpful for you guys. Honeymoon should be a very fun experience. If it starts feeling too rough on planning, maybe consider finding a travel agent or taking a break or kind of delegating some duties to somebody else who's willing to help, whether that's a family member or your significant other, whatever it may be. Make sure that this is a really fun time for you guys and that you are enjoying every second of it. See you guys next time. Bye!